Dear to all the boys fans, an era has come to an end, but that doesn't mean we can't make the most of it. The third THCB movie has finally hit Netflix, and we're taking in all the Lara Jean and Peter Kay we can, including behind-the-scenes moments. Ready to find out what scene was being filmed when Lana knew she left Noah for real? Or how one of the most adorable moments in the film was actually unscripted?
I love you, always, forever.
What a lot of people don't know about To All the Boys, Always and Forever is that it was filmed almost 2 years ago now. So while we had to say goodbye in 2021, the cast said goodbye to one another back in 2019. It was actually all shot at the same time as P.S. I Still Love You. Netflix knew how iconic all the actors had become and wanted to make sure everyone was available for the last film. It worked out considering how Always and Forever picks up almost immediately after the last one.
This is going on 4 years of working together.
Like a lot of movies, Always and Forever needed some reshoots, but thanks to the global pandemic, those were put on the back burner. The leading lady and man only returned for reshoots in Vancouver more than a year later. Noah even joked that it had been so long, he wasn't sure he knew how to act anymore.
I've not been on a set in about a year. I hope I remember how to act.
But we got some adorable pictures of Lana and Noah roaming the city because of it, so we're not complaining. We're not exactly sure what they were reshooting, but maybe we can spot a scene in the films where they look a little older.
This is where it all started.
The pandemic didn't just push back reshoots. It also eliminated every possibility of having a premiere for the final film. Not even the cast could watch their chemistry come to life together one more time. Instead, Lana and Noah had their own private premiere over FaceTime where they got to watch the first cut. We're pretty sure that must have been bittersweet for them, but we're glad they had that special moment, even if it was through a screen.
Talking on the FaceTime with you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was brutal.
To All the Boys may be a rom-com, but behind the scenes, it's just comedy. The Prank Master? According to Anna Cathcart and Janel Parrish, it's Noah Centineo and Ross Butler.
I never have scenes with Noah, but I feel like he would be a prankster.
I was gonna say, if anyone, it'd definitely be Noah and Ross.
But Noah says his target was always Lana.
I think I just scare Lana. I like to scare her. Those were my pranks.
Madeline gave us the real truth. On the set of the third film, the cast had a game going that if someone winked at you, you would slowly have to start making your way to the ground until someone tapped you. Unsurprisingly, Ross says it was always Noah who started it.
Of course, Noah would choose that time to
Sometimes we wonder how they managed to shoot 3 films so quickly with how hilarious this cast is. Ross Butler has a hidden talent that snuck its way into the third film, improvising. He would apparently have the cast breaking out into laughter because of his unscripted one-liners.
He hits you with one-liners over and over and over again. You have no idea what's coming next, and then you just laugh.
But that's not all. Madeline also spoke about Ross's improvisation during the magical prom scene in Always and Forever.
We were gonna do this kind of plain, simple tango, and he went, "Oh no, you've gotta do something better," because he is a dancer.
Not only did they perform an elaborate tango choreographed by Jordan Fisher, Ross thought it would be cool to get down and pull out some of his breakdancing tricks.
I have 2 moves left in my arsenal, and those are the 2 moves you see there, and you will only see those 2 moves whenever I dance.
By watching them on the screen, you would have never guessed, but Lana and Noah actually had a pretty awkward first meeting. It was during Noah's chemistry test, and he really wanted to run some lines, so he decided to introduce himself to Lana and ask if she'd be interested. But what he didn't know was that she had already gotten the part. It wasn't her audition. Listen to Noah recount her hilarious but really awkward response.
And so I'm like, hey, would you maybe want to run lines? And she was like, nah, I'm okay.
That, of course, changed very quickly. Now, after filming 3 movies, the 2 are basically inseparable best friends.
You really mean that?
Not a word.
Speaking of them being closer than ever, the moment Lana realized how much she actually loved Noah as a friend, of course, was while they were filming a scene for the third movie. According to the love letter Lana wrote as a goodbye to Noah, the scene was in a car and made her realize how kind and good he is. Can you hear our hearts melting? To All the Boys author Jenny Han also said that the same car scene is one of her favorites in the film because of Lana and Noah's chemistry.
I choose you, Peter Kavinsky.
The cast spent some time filming in the Big Apple for the third film, and even got one of the city's most well-known attractions to play a part in the movie. The Empire State Building lit up in the classic To All the Boys colors, pink, yellow, and blue. It was the backdrop to the movie rooftop party, and you can actually see it in the film.
Fell in love with this city.
Lara Jean loves to bake. Lana Condor? Not so much. In fact, it's not exactly the actress's forte, which means it was kind of strange to get Lana baking properly for a scene. She had to have a professional baker next to her at all times, instructing her on what to do while the cameras were rolling. For the rest of the cast, their job was easy. According to Noah, they just chowed down on whatever she had baked on set that day. There are a lot of iconic props from the TATB franchise. The letters, the hatbox, scrunchies. So what did the cast actually get to take home with them? Anna Cathcart says,
I got to take my feminist necklace that Kitty wears in all 3 films.
but she's too scared of losing it to wear it in real life. Noah, on the other hand, took 3 books from the set of the final movie.
There's a certain book in the 3rd film that has a little bit of gravity, so I took 3 of those.
A button-down, and the back of his actor's chair. There's a moment in the NYC cupcake shop between Lara Jean and Peter that's completely unscripted. Spoiler if you haven't seen the film yet. Lara Jean reveals that she wasn't accepted into Stanford, but Peter reassures her their relationship will still be fine. According to Jenny Han, there were multiple moments in that scene that weren't in the script. It was just Lana and Noah being themselves.
You was tripping out. Why were you scared?
We've been obsessed with Lara Jean's wardrobe since the first film, and according to costume designer Lorraine Carson, it's so easy to add some of the To All the Boys pieces to our closets. For the 3rd film, the majority of her clothes are from stores like Forever 21 and Aritzia. However, there are some pieces that were thrifted and are authentically vintage. Shopping spree, anyone?
They have to wear it. They have to feel those characters.
Like we mentioned before, the cast got to fly to NYC for the shooting of their grad trip. But it wasn't just a vacation for their characters. According to Madeline, the cast spent their time in between shooting, having sleepovers, movie nights, and touring the city. They apparently grew even closer than they were before. Their offset time was fun, but that doesn't mean their onset time wasn't. Do you know the iconic pink couch scene in the NYC subway? Well, the cast actually had to lug the couch through a full station of real commuters for that scene. The train part was filmed on an abandoned subway line. Filming in Korea is pretty special, but what happened between the cast and Korea is even more spectacular. They explained that it was a huge vacation for them and basically a farewell trip. They spent their time shopping for Korean skincare products, candy, and eating dumplings.
Tubs of Korean candy.
Hubs.
South Korea is where they actually wrapped, even though it's the first scene of the movie. In honor of the Covey sisters, they locked a lock on the Namsang Tower together. We don't blame Lana for crying as soon as they called cut. We're kind of crying. We may have had to close a chapter on this love letter, but we're glad it came with all these behind-the-scenes moments that make Lara Jean and Peter Kay's love story that much better. The cast has come so far since first meeting in 2017, and without their off-screen love, we probably wouldn't have gotten the franchise we have today. Let us know what your favorite behind-the-scenes moment was below, and we'll catch you in another video. Always and forever, The Things.